wanna wake up to a butler with a joint roll for me to help me head upwards. While I clear my head, I wanna discover that Natalie Portman is under my covers. Pull a blank check, get a water slide from my room to the pool.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Creeper Slayer here, bringing you a Modern Warfare 3 commentary on Outpost. And today I'm bringing you a commentary on the Day of Silence. If you don't know what the Day of Silence is, the Day of Silence is where people across the nation are silent for a whole day in honor, or not in honor, but in memory of the people that gave their lives to themselves. Yes, suicide. And I felt so bad today because I walk into one of my hours and there's this girl I always talk to, and I walked in there and I started trying to talk to her. I said hey and all that, and then she wasn't talking to me, and she pulled out her, well, she didn't pull out, but she showed me her hand, and it had written on it the Day of Silence, and I had no idea what that was at the time. So I was like, well, why aren't you talking? Did you make a bet with someone or something? And then she explained it to me on a piece of paper. She wrote that the Day of Silence is where people are silent for a whole entire day in memory of the people that committed suicide. And this is what made me feel bad. She said her uncle committed suicide last year, and this made me feel terrible. I felt really bad after she wrote this. I was like, wow, I'm sorry. And that's what I said to her. I said, I'm sorry. And then she shook her head and she kind of went back to her computer because this was a film class. And I felt really bad. I did. And I'm like, jeez, wow. I've seen like 7 people at my school have been doing that, the Day of Silence. They were silent for a whole day. And I'm gonna do it next year probably. Most likely I will do it next year. And but I do have a suicide like experience. But my friend last year in 2012 committed suicide at 2 o'clock on May 20th, Sunday. This is how I found out. So I was at my house and I was just looking online for airsoft guns, and this was before I had an HD PVR, so I wasn't into commentating yet. And I was searching up airsoft guns, trying to look for one, and I didn't go over, sorry. I got a call from my friend, and my friend said, I heard on the news, well, Matt, my other friend, heard on the news that a kid named Greg Olson killed himself at 2 o'clock today. And at that point I was like, well, is it the Greg that we know? And he's like, no, well, that's what we're trying to figure out. And I was like, wow, whoa, what if this is like him? What if he's never going to talk to me again? What if I'm never going to see him again? What if? There was a bunch of what ifs. What if this? What if that? What if that? And I just kind of stopped. And then at like 8 o'clock I went over to my friend's house and I told him all about it, and then another friend came over and I asked him about it, and he said, yeah, it's true. And I felt devastated. I felt like, what? I felt shocked first. I had a blank face. I had nothing to say. And I gave him a high five, I guess, somewhat. And then I walked out, and as soon as I passed the gate, I started crying. I just couldn't hold it. I felt powerless. I felt like, wow, he did this, and I had nothing. I could do nothing. I felt like, and the first thing you think is it's all your fault. It's normal to think that. It's normal. So if you think that, if you thought that when your friend or your family member committed suicide, it's not abnormal to think that. A lot of people do it. I just want to let you guys know that. So, yeah, and then, I don't know. I felt powerless. And how he did it was a shotgun through his chin. It practically blew his head off. It was terrible. I felt bad. And then I realized, it helped me realize, because I saw how many people were crying the following Monday, actually the day after, and I saw how many people were crying. The 8th grade hallway, I was at 7th grade at the time, and the 8th grade hallway was just silent. You didn't hear a peep. People said it was silent. And it was terrible. I bet it was. It was terrible. And it was terrible for me too. When they did the announcement, because that was the second year in a row that we'd had a suicide, and when they did the announcement, I just cried. I couldn't hold it in. I cried. And I felt bad. I did. But so I want to say, if you have a suicide story that you want to share, feel free to leave it in the comments, or if you don't want to share it with the world, then you can just send it to me in the message, or if you just don't want to share it at all, don't share it. But I'm always here to help, guys. I'm always here for you. I mean, it's hard. I know what you're going through. If you had this happen recently, I know what you're going through. I cried for about 3 days. It's hard. Hard to get over that person that just was always there for you, and now he can't be there anymore, or she. It's the worst feeling in the world. But just to let you know, I'm always here for you. And for my friends, I'm going to be posting this on Facebook. I'm always here for you too. So, and then next I want to say, for all the people that went silent for the whole day, congrats. Good job. For all the people that tried, hey, you don't gain any less respect from the people that did succeed. Just trying makes me think that you are really caring. I just didn't know about it, so I didn't feel like in the middle of the day. But yeah, thanks guys. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.